Fresh water. The fresh water is the water such as lake water, river water, pond water, and well water that most organisms can drink or use for life functions, most tied up in glaciers, caps, and underground aquifers. Fresh water covers roughly 20% of the Earth and are in various locations spread out all over the world. Most of most freshwater biomes consist of moving water and contain many types of fish. Surface water. The surface water from precipitation and snowmelt that flowed across the Earth's land surface and into rivers, streams, lakes, wetlands to the oceans. 2.1 to 1.21 billion people in big cities worldwide primarily depend on surface water sources. More than 70% of drinking water in the United States is made of surface water. Underground water. Some precipitations influence the ground and goes downward through places in soils, gravel, and rock until a impenetrable layer of rock stops it. Water is always in motion. Groundwater generally moves from recharge area, where water enters the ground, to discharge area, when it exists from the ground into a wetland, river, lake, or ocean. Transpiration by plants whose roots extend to a point near the water table is another form of discharge. Aquifer. An underground formation that consists groundwater is aquifer. An aquifer filled with water from rain or melt snows that drawn into the ground. In some areas, the water passes through the soil on the top of aquifer. In others, it enters through joints and cracks in rocks. The water moves downward until it meets less permeable rock. Aquifer act as reservoirs for groundwater. In aquifer, a groundwater storage area dropped between two immutable layers of rock is confined aquifer. There probably are virtually confined aquifer because tests have shown that the confining strata or layers, although they do not readily transmit water, over a period of time contribute large quantity of water by slow leakage to supplement production from the principal aquifer. Unconfined aquifer system has no overlying impervious rock layer to separate it from the atmosphere is unconfined aquifer. The flowing pressure in unconfined aquifers is equivalent to what one would measure at a point in standing body of water and would increase linearly at a constant rate with depths. The elevations of the top surface of an unconfined aquifer is free to fluctuate with rainfall table. The line between water-saturated soil and the soil that is not saturated with water is water table. An area's water table can be fluctuate as water seeps downward from the surface. It filters through soil, sediment, and rocks. The water includes precipitations such as rain and snow, irrigation from the crops, and other plants may also contribute to a rising water table. Flowplain. A flowplain adjacent to a river that is formed chiefly of river sediment and is subject to a floating flood periodically is called flowplain. Flowplain is very fertile because any floating water body erodes the soil fertility of one place and in the course of floating. Deposit most of natural nutrients along with soil on the other place. Because of the site and topsoil that is deposited when the river float is blank. Wetland. The wetlands are the areas that are regularly saturated by surface water or groundwater, including freshwater marshes, swamps, and bogs. Wetlands help keep river level normal and filter and purify the surface water. Wetlands accept water during storms and whenever water levels are high. When, when water levels are low, wetlands slowly release water. Wetland also release vegetative matter to rivers, which helps feed fish in the rivers. Consumptive use. Consumptive water use is water removed from available supplies without turned to a water source system. More than one-fourth of the total water use in the United States in 2005 was withdrawn in California, Texas, and Florida. California accounts for 11% of all withdrawals in the United States in 2005. Non-consumptive use. The water removed from available supply and turned to a water source system is non-consumptive use. Water withdrawn for purposes such as hydropower generation. It is also include use such as boating or fishing, where the water is still available for another use at the same site. A large surface crater caused by the collapse of an underground channel, often triggered by groundwater withdrawal. Hurricane triggers are bad enough that sinkholes could be formed under your feet in normal rains. Bring a hurricane to the region and it could feel like not only the sky is falling, but the ground is falling as well. Dams is any obstruction placed in a river or stream to block the flow of river so that the water can be stored in a reservoir. Three Gorges Dam is the world's largest dam project in China, Yangtze River, in 2003. Reservoir. A reservoir is an artificial lake where water is stored. Most reservoirs are formed by constructing dams across rivers. A reservoir can also be formed from a natural lake whose outlet has been dammed to control the water level. The dam controls the amount of water that flows out the reservoir. Desalination. The desalination is a process of removing salt from ocean water. The top three desalination countries are Saudi Arabia with 17% of global output, United Arab Emirates with 13.4%, and the United States with 13%.